The terminal was unusually packed for a Tuesday morning. Travelers hurried through security, parents wrangled toddlers, and business travelers barked into phones while balancing lattes. Among the crowd was an older man in a wrinkled beige jacket, holding a faded leather duffel bag. His name tag, from a recent tech summit, still hung around his neck. M. Carter. He sat alone near Gate 23, sipping from a styrofoam cup and watching people drift past. He looked like any weary traveler, a little underdressed, a little out of place, and completely ignored. 2 rows away, a sharply dressed consultant in his early 30s paced in front of his gate. He checked his Rolex, looked back at the older man, and scoffed quietly. "Figures," he muttered to the woman beside him. "Conferences let in anyone these days." That guy looked lost the entire time. The woman offered a polite smile. She wasn't sure how to respond. A flight delay was announced. Groans followed. People scrambled to find seats, outlets, or another overpriced snack. The consultant dropped into the seat next to the older man, still talking loudly on a call. "No, seriously, I could teach that whole summit myself. Some of those speakers were outdated dinosaurs. One of them couldn't even figure out how to use the mic." The man next to him sipped his coffee, eyes twinkling slightly. "The one in the wrinkled jacket?" the voice on the call asked. The consultant laughed. "Exactly. Looked like he wandered in from baggage claim." He didn't notice the older man glance his way, quietly amused. After ending the call, the consultant turned and asked, almost condescendingly, "You were at the summit too?" The man nodded. "I was. Weird vibe this year, right? Not exactly cutting edge. Depends what you're looking for," the older man said. "Sometimes the best lessons are the quietest ones." The consultant gave a dismissive nod and pulled out his tablet. He didn't ask the man's name. Moments later, a gate agent stepped forward. "Apologies for the delay. We'd like to begin pre-boarding for Flight 819. We'll begin with first class and elite platinum members. Also, we have a passenger needing assistance. Mr. Carter." The older man stood, brushing off crumbs from his pants. As he approached the gate, the agent added, "Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm thank you to Mr. Marcus Carter, keynote speaker of the Global Innovation Forum, CEO, and founder of Novara Systems." Every head turned. Conversations froze. The consultant's tablet nearly slipped from his lap. Marcus paused before boarding, then turned around with a gentle smile. "Sometimes," he said, "it's good to sit in the crowd and hear what people really think. It keeps you grounded, and it reminds you of the work still left to do." A hush fell over the gate area. He gave a polite nod to the stunned consultant and boarded the plane. The woman who had been seated nearby watched with new respect. She quietly searched his name online and blinked at the results. Founder of one of the fastest-growing green tech companies in the world. Former engineer, philanthropist, mentor. Meanwhile, in first class, Marcus Carter unfolded a napkin and began sketching notes. A new idea had formed, a talk for the next summit. Title: How to Spot a Leader. It's never in the watch. He smiled to himself, recalling how many times he had been underestimated over the years. The first investors who dismissed him because he didn't dress the part. The VC who once told him, "You have great ideas, but your shoes say you don't belong in the room." Those same investors now called him seeking partnerships, but Marcus never forgot. As the plane took off, the consultant sat in coach, uncomfortably aware of the irony. He opened his laptop but couldn't concentrate. Instead, he glanced forward and replayed the conversation he had so casually dismissed. After landing, the consultant lingered in the baggage claim area. He spotted Marcus waiting patiently, chatting with a young airport employee about his first coding project. The employee beamed. The consultant hesitated, then approached. "Mr. Carter, I just wanted to say, I didn't realize who you were, and I was wrong to assume anything about you." Marcus smiled warmly. "That's all right. We all make assumptions. What matters is what we do after we realize them." The consultant nodded. "Thank you. Truly." They shook hands, and for the first time that day, the consultant saw a leader not by title, suit, or status, but by presence, humility, and grace. The lesson here is, respect should never be reserved for those who look the part, because true leadership rarely announces itself on arrival. If you like to watch more lesson stories like this, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button too.